How does that happen? She forgot about it in Sunshine.
How many
That's
Bowsers?
a weird Tony Hawk Pro Skater moment.
How many Bowsers?
The bowels.
How many bow?
I don't believe in God.
Welcome to Mimico Radio!
What?
That was awesome.
What the fuck?
We're talented.
Yeah, there we go. All right, here's.
What?
That was the best intro the show's ever had.
That was good. Yeah, we can.
Hello, everybody.
You can do your shitty version if you want.
Yeah, you can do shitty version. Shit version.
I feel like I've been outdone.
Come on, do the shit show.
No, tradition is broken.
Introduce the
When
shit
the
show.
Wikipedia write-ups about us happen, they're not going to say I'm always the start. They are now going to claim that you have taken over for this one episode.
That's okay.
No, it was both of us.
Honestly, the last episode was such a fucking train wreck, nothing matters anymore.
Yeah,
I don't remember last episode.
I did the best I could to edit, and I also kind of messed with the intro, like just the formula of
What
it.
was
I don't know if I
bad
like it
about
anymore.
last episode?
Oh, the fucking janitor came in and would stare at us, and he made us uncomfortable.
Oh
and distracted
yeah,
us.
that was a good episode.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Why'd you edit
That was weird.
It was really awkward to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I left some of the Bill Cosby stuff in though.
That's good.
To Max's dismay.
Eye contact is weird.
I'm looking at the
I've
camera.
never done this show before. I don't even.
Oh, we have a guest
Who?
from the Cat's Meow, another podcast on Mopcast Network. Wrong emphasis there, but Elaine is with us.
Hi.
It's a woman, female,
Gamergate.
not male.
I couldn't get over to
War
the drum
on
to
Women
do a proper
begins.
intro. Yeah.
So now that we have a woman, women-
How's it feel to be Arnese a Sarkeesian?
Our news is Sarbubion.
Do you hate old men?
It was actually her second episode. She was in another one, but she was just off camera.
Yeah,
Well, it was the pizza-sode.
She's hidden.
The pizza.
Pizza Stone is still the best one.
Yeah,
Does the cat
the best one.
actually meow?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sold.
That's
This is the
literally
podcast of the year. Stop watching this. Just listen to cats meow and forget about us.
That's true. It is not
Better
in English.
show.
It is in Cantonese.
Something we don't really mention a lot is that we there's actually a lot of other podcasts you can watch on mopcast.com.
Whole internet is pretty
on
big.
Podbean. These are the only ones that are worth listening to, though. As mopcast.com.
That's right. All the other ones suck.
http://www.mopcast.com.
My
Cancel
favorite one is
slash-
the one you're not listening to.
What is that?
You know the one.
Well, they know.
Yeah. It's the
They
Tony
know.
Hawk
They need
podcast.
to listen to it. And then
Speaking
they'll
of
find out.
podcasts, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or not, but it's really interesting happening that happened. It's a happening.
Gamergate?
Did it happen though?
It happened
Okay.
in the past, and now it's still kind of happening. Greg, Colin, and some other people left IGN, started their own thing.
Jim Sterling did that too.
How do you guys
a
feel
while
about
ago.
that? You familiar with the IGN crew?
Not at all, actually.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
there's a lot of criticism out there for IGN in general, but whether you really like them or not, you have to admit they're a powerhouse when it comes to just online internet.
Yeah, but they just
Gaming
lost their
information.
biggest asset.
They did.
They lost the reason I visited IGN.
I love Greg Miller and Colin, and yeah, I'm like that's 90% of the reason why I would go there is because I like their content.
So
They started
Jim
kind of
Sterling
funny.
did this recently as well. He started his own Patreon. And if you go to the jimquisition.com, I would argue that man is working way harder now that he's independent than he ever did when he worked for any of the two. Because he has a podcast, he's still writing reviews, he's doing Jimquisition, he's doing Let's Plays, he's putting all this effort in. And if they continue to do that, it's nothing but beneficial. Does mean IGN is dead, though. It's kind of like
wouldn't say they're dead.
GameSpot.
I mean, they're
No,
not
I'd
dead.
say dead. GameSpot isn't dead either.
They're
but
down a few pegs, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but they got an enormous.
Let me
audience.
ask you this: When was the last time you went to GameSpot?
A while back, when I was looking, sometimes I'll look for like just a contrasting opinion to IGN, and I'll go to GameSpot.
I'll tell you, not GameStop, GameSpot.
Or GameSpot, yeah. I know.
There you go. Well, I would argue that when Giant Bomb was formed,
I was gonna
Who's
say,
that?
didn't Giant Bomb come from? There?
yeah,
I love Giant Bomb.
and Giant Bomb's great.
Yeah, they're great. I
like
love them.
Giant Bomb.
GameSpot is dead. They're literally only afloat because Giant Bomb exists, and
They haven't been
technically
relevant
owned
to
by
me
them.
for a long time.
Giant Bomb.
No, GameSpot.
Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, Giant Bomb's good. I like Giant Bomb.
Might I say their video podcast is like the most professional looking like web podcast I've ever seen in my life. Like it's like completely, they have have you ever seen them stream where they'll be playing 2 different games and they'll have like a cam for like each of 7 people around the corner? It's like, wow.
That's cool.
You ever see them at E3? Because they do the best job at E3. Because if you're up at late night, they interview people after the show.
I'd say Mega 64 does the best job at E3.
They do a pretty good job. But
have you seen their Gamer Girls sketches? Amazing.
Well, the thing with Giant Bomb, though, is that they're there at night and they're interviewing people who are like off their guard. So you learn a lot of interesting tidbits, and they're really funny. So, like one example, who was the president of Sony? The Japanese man?
Shuhei.
So Shuhei was on the show, right? You know, and they were interviewing him, and one of them asked, you know, you kept mentioning VidRibbon. What was up with that? And in his Asian accent, he just goes, "I did not write the script."
That's great.
Not the best answer.
It's the best answer. I disagree. I love that, man.
I did not write this script.
He's such a charming little man. He can say any damn thing.
Yeah.
It would work because he's such a charming little
All
Japanese
hail
man.
Sony, leader of the hacked company.
Yeah.
So
basically.
AGDQ has been happening this week.
Yes.
Yes.
Woo!
The Awesome Games Done Quick, in case you didn't know, it's a Twitch stream.
They're pretty
a charity
quick.
event where they have, it's like a 5 or 6 day event, I believe, or 7, I don't know, where they get these speedrunners together and just back to back they'll have people speedrun games and people will donate. And I think if you donate, you can include a message that the announcer says, and it's cool, man.
Yeah.
It was
We should
really
steal that idea.
It's man,
One
it's like
day.
my favorite thing. Like I had been watching. They upload all of their speed runs up on their YouTube channel after the stream is already done. So like all year I've been watching AGDQ 2014 all year, and man, but it's so much fun.
That is cool.
good.
I've been meaning to check it out. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I do like stuff like that. It's a really good idea.
It's just a stream.
What's the charity that they're donating to?
Charity. No.
It's for cancer prevention.
Right.
It's cancer prevention, and I can't remember the name of the company.
It's on the
Okay.
website.
Cool.
There's even a Humble Bundle related right now.
I bought
go
it.
to the same charity.
Oh, I bought
and
it.
It goes to them, and it's really good.
It has Shantae Risky's Revenge, which is really good, and it has Volgar the Viking, which is like
That's one of the
Yeah.
early tiers.
It's
too.
hard.
So you can get that for like a penny.
Cool.
It's that game's really hard though, and
Yeah.
So if you like cancer, then maybe it's not for you.
yeah,
But
maybe
if
don't
you-
do it
But
don't
if you know,
I like
if you're
crap.
not an asshole, maybe you should check it out.
But I like
there's a
crafts.
bundle in the bundle there you can pay $30 for all of the games, and then you get some merch like some shirts and stuff with it too. It's like a really good deal.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm like
These bundles that are coming out are just outrageously awesome deals. Almost
So-
all of them.
they're
And
good normally, right? But then the
I-
AGDQ happens, and they're like, let's do one where you pay $30 for like 10 games and shirts. And
Yeah.
like
They're
insane.
too good, I think. I think it's a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, dissenting opinion.
I think
Unwarranted dissenting
when
opinion.
you
Go.
make everything so cheap, it devalues the game.
Oh.
And then when an indie game is released at $15 or $20, you go, I'm gonna wait for the inevitable humble bundle.
Have you been watching PBS Game Channel?
No.
Yes.
What is
They made a
that?
video game. Okay, so have you ever heard of PBS Idea Channel?
Mm-mm.
Probably one of the
Yes.
best channels on YouTube, by the way.
Really good.
Okay.
So it's a guy who
gotta
has
be
these
good.
ideas and he investigates the internet and stuff. They have a side channel for video game related things. It's this guy named Damon, I think his name.
You said it's
is.
PBS?
Yes, it's PBS.
The channel, like
wow.
it's they work for them.
There's a host.
That's
his name is
awesome.
Damon something. I want to say his name is. Well, anyway, he's a
I need
really
to
really
get- I need
good
to get plugged in
speaker.
with these folks.
Oh man, they're the show's really really good, and they'll talk about like
Post-scarcity economies and related to Minecraft was my favorite.
or like what is Minecraft doing to kids' brains. They did an episode on do video games actually make you smarter. They did one on does it like what does violence in video games actually do to people.
They did Gamergate.
They did Gamergate,
I love
obviously.
it.
And then they did the reason why I brought it up. They did do humble bundles make the value of games go down?
I really
Wow.
think they do though.
And they're like they're like heavily researched topics, and they're like really well done and concise. These videos are like solid. They're good.
Well, you also consider that and the fact that like how many games are on people's Steams that they've never played.
Yeah. I thought I had a lot. You had a little more than me, Eric.
I don't know
I
what
have-
they are.
I have 100.
You
I
just
have
get like gifts from people and stuff.
Well, it's that Humble Bundles where you get other
got
things
them.
included, and you're like, I don't even know what Tiny and Big Grandpa's Remains is, but I own it.
It's called Grandpa's Leftovers. Okay,
I'm
Tiny and Big
sorry.
Grandpa's Leftovers. It's actually really cool.
I'm sorry.
It's a 3D platformer game that the main mechanic is you have a tractor beam that can like move big objects. It's cool.
You
Play
could
it.
convince me to play it, but
Play it.
at this point,
Just try it. It's cool.
It feels like I'd have to buy the games I already owned. Just
That
to
was
play
like
it.
that was like in a humble bundle like 2 years
Yeah.
ago, wasn't it? It was in like a Humble Bundle like 2
I'm
years
sure.
ago.
Probably.
Yeah, it was like Humble Indie Bundle 3. Or
I'm
something.
sure Gabe just vomited and gave me the game.
It was.
okay.
It started me off with like. There was one that had like Super Meat Boy, Braid, like all these games in one bundle. I'm like,
Seriously,
whoa.
you gotta get out of here, buddy. You're gonna touch the mic a bunch, and it's gonna be all loud and fucked up.
There's
Go
a
there.
dog.
Lay down.
You can't see.
He's
it.
a good boy. He just doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't understand the world.
That's not a dog, actually. That's our slave.
He doesn't know shit about microphones. Look at him.
He's like, I don't know why I have to sit over here.
What a fucking idiot.
Look how sad he is.
Oh, look what you've done.
I'm a
His
terrible
tail
father.
Look at his tail
My
wagging.
heart is broken.
He eats twice a
I
day.
feel
and
so sorry for the
he's
people
in
at
perfect
home.
health,
This is the
obviously.
saddest thing I've ever seen.
It's like a Sir McLaughlin commercials. Look at him.
For real though, he smells better than most dogs I've ever came across in my
I don't
life.
even think he's a dog.
He
I
smells
think it's
way
a
better than
kid
mine.
that you stole put in a dog suit.
Well, I did blow him up once.
That's
I
good.
blew up the house.
You blew your dog?
I blew up the house with him in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've been playing
Elaine, your
Spelunky.
opinion as the guest on the show.
Oh yeah,
Of what?
dogs. What? Do you
What's a
think?
dog?
What do you think?
What are dogs?
Yeah.
What
What?
are dogs?
What are dogs?
What are dogs?
You ever seen one?
No,
ever
I've
seen
never seen one
You ever
before.
Yeah,
seen
this
one?
one's real.
This should blow your
Is
mind.
it a real dog?
This is not
Yeah.
a
He's
computer
level
generated
5.
image. This is a
Wow.
dog.
He's level 5.
He's level 5. He
How
just
have you
turned.
found
He
the
just
time
turned
to
level
train
5. He just turned level 5.
What do you?
Speaking of level
I take him out in the
5,
bushes and I fight Squirtles with him, and I just grind it.
Is that where the squirtles are?
I guess
Oh.
water bushes.
Oh.
I was gonna say the rat Pokemon, but I forget
Touch
what
the
it's
dog.
called.
Rep-a-pap-a-pa.
Rappa-da-bop-a-da-bop.
His name is
This
Parappa the
episode should
Rapper.
just be called Dog, because that's all we're talking about.
Dogsode.
True story. One time, last Halloween, I dressed up as Parappa the Rapper, and when people asked me who I was it was Nintendogs. Because they wouldn't know what Parappa the Rapper.
They probably
Two
wouldn't know
people
what
at the party.
Nintendogs are either at that point.
There were like
would they?
30 or 40 people at the party. 2 people knew who Parappa the Rapper was. I thought 0 people were gonna know, and 2 people knew.
Mm-hmm.
Was that hat that you made?
Yeah.
That was a cool hat.
So like I made the costume like really last minute, because like I was coming back from work and there was this party and I was already kind of late. I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? So I went to Walmart and bought this like fluorescent orange like hunting hat. So it was like really warm. So because Parappa wears an orange hat.
Perfect though. That's what you need.
I had these 2 black ankle socks and I sewed them to the insides of the hat for the ears. And
I didn't know
bought
it was socks. That's
yeah,
funny.
those are socks. Those ears.
It looked
Did
good.
you
It
rip
looked
people
perfect.
out of money? Because that's what Parappa's famous for now.
You should sell it as an official Parappa the Rapper hat for like $80. Somebody would buy it.
Yeah, I might as well.
Some collector.
I could sew it back a little better. It's funny because the inside of the socks are just still in the hat, like I didn't cut them off or anything. And for the black face paint, I bought vampire makeup and just didn't use any of the other colors. I just used the black part.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm Nintendogs.
I had this really old, cheap karaoke microphone, and I just snipped the cord off and I just carried it around and rapped at people all night.
That's badass.
Yeah.
That is.
Like,
I'm
you are
actually
carrying a drink. That is what that you think. Oh, that's what it
That's
is.
about the same quality as Parappa the Rapper. As
By the
much as
way-
I love those games.
I
That's
disagree.
true.
The
Parappa
rapping
would
is
have
it's
you
not exactly
repeating it.
Tupac.
You'd have to repeat someone else's rap if you were truly
Right.
Parappa.
Yeah.
punch drop.
I
Punch
keep
Drunk?
hearing that they're remaking that game, and I don't know how they're going to do it.
They're not remaking.
Would it be Parappa the Rapper 3 then, I guess?
I'd be up for
They'll
that.
probably just call it Parappa the Rapper and be like a reboot, since every fucking else.
Why
Why
would
does
you
every
need a
game
reboot?
remake called the same thing as the first one?
Why couldn't you
Stop
just
that. It's
make a
confusing.
sequel?
call it like Parappa the Rapper Zero or something? Like
Why not
something
just
cool.
make a sequel?
Or, like
or a
one-
sequel? God
Like,
forbid.
actually,
Yeah.
it's not like that's a timeless story that needs
And
to
a
be
lot of these
retold.
reboots are good too, like the Devil May Cry reboot. Great, but they could have called it Devil May Cry something else. Type
One.
0.
They called it DMC.
Devil May Cry 1,
Oh.
2.
True, yeah, that's a little bit different, but you know what I mean.
That was a spin-off. I'm saying with Parappa, you don't need an M-rated gangsta Parappa shooting motherfuckers. While
I would
rapping.
like that.
That's
though.
true, though.
Maybe in DLC, I would
You
like
know,
that.
all right, we here just shooting in the car, bang, bang, bang.
Shooting your gun. Pop, pop, pop. Making those motherfuckers drop.
Sell those drugs.
I like
It's
it.
like
Word.
it's the same like dojo guy. He's like, oh, shoot your gun, huh?
And when
Shoot your gun, just so that you'll have some fun.
I agree.
Pop, pop, pop.
it's like, oh man, I gotta believe in weed.
Why is Parappa rated M? Let's find out. Oh my god.
But a good reboot that I just got in the mail yesterday, Shadow Warrior.
We were playing that upstairs like
Yeah,
5
yeah.
minutes ago.
And it's a blast. It
I
is so
gave
much
him
fun.
every trophy.
Let's
Yeah.
say
Eric got me like 3 trophies in 10 seconds.
I'll give you a preview of the game. We were walking down this alleyway, right, and there was a car, and the make of car was called Tetsubishi.
Tetsubishi.
Sold.
Yep.
That happened in the game. I just want to let you know that.
And it's funny, like, I don't know if some people are familiar with the original Shadow Warrior. It really wasn't that popular, but
It was racist.
it was
which
like
is a
really
good thing.
insensitive and just really like not not excusable at all.
Like worse than Japanese Punch-Out racist.
But and they still kind of do that in this game, but they do it just right so that you can tell that they're making fun of the old game, and it's satirical and it's good. I like it. I think it is. It comes off.
No, it is.
It's
It's just
self-aware.
like you got to put in that cover. You got to make it known.
It's
Right,
not.
right.
It's not 100% okay, but it's way better than the first.
Yeah, it's not like
If it was, I wouldn't want it.
right,
I'm okay with racism as long as you're aware that it's funny.
right.
Yes,
As long
but
as
what
they're
games
doing
has
it
Elaine been
lightheartedly?
Yeah.
What games have you?
I
been
gotta
playing?
specify what I mean
Eventually.
by that. That statement sounded very bad.
Yeah.
You have to be aware that you're playing with stereotypes.
Yes.
It's
You
true.
know? Like, for example, I played Wolfenstein, and that game is very racist. It says all Polish people are really good at fucking.
That's good.
Now, that's fine.
Thank you.
Because they would be proud of that.
So in that game, you're Michael J. Fox, and you're in high school, but you turn into a werewolf, and you
It-
really
it
got to
caught
make
me-
it to the
It's
basketball
really hard to
game.
aim. It's
Yeah.
hard.
You got to
I
shoot
love
that
that
basketball and win the game.
Speaking of Wolfenstein, Game of the Year.
Yes.
Wolfenstein is Game of the Year.
I saw my brother play it. It looked good. That's really all I have.
It really is good. Tell everyone why that's your game of the year.
Because-
Go on your
Okay,
journey
so
with it.
so
and
thing
then we'll
with
move down the line.
Wolfenstein, I don't think I've played a campaign of a shooter that damn good in years.
Mm-hmm.
I would put it up there with Half-Life 2.
Shooter
made-
campaigns suck, don't they?
They made
They
They're
do
just like,
now.
oh, crap, yeah,
they
I
made
hate them.
BJ Blazkowicz this ridiculous
Likeable
two-dimensional
character.
thing, a likable, interesting person.
It's well written. I enjoyed every mission.
Yep.
And you get to shoot Nazis on the motherfucking moon
Every mission
with
mattered.
laser rifles.
I
which
forgot
is
about the
fun.
moon level.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel out of place.
No,
And it doesn't feel like
it matters.
a joke. Like,
Yeah.
it's set up in a plot that works.
The game has a lighthearted feel to a lot of it, but at the same time, it's like you get really into it.
It's
and
also-
it's not like comedy like Shadow Warrior.
I think
you
it's
know?
like the perfect combination of like modern shooters and classic shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Because while it has recharging health,
right,
it does still do health packs, just rounds to 20.
right.
You know, and
Yeah, the recharging health doesn't go all
you
the way.
can
It's-
dual wield shotguns, go bang bang
Yep.
bang. Level design is classic 90s, but with branching paths and
And there's
it's
that one gun
great.
that there's like chargers for it all over the game, and if you're out of ammo for some reason, which would be hard to do, then you can find those, and you always have that gun. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I forget what that gun's called, but
you get many of them and
yeah.
replace it.
So I mean,
can't
you
really-
always have something, and it
Mhm.
it has, like you said, it's like the modern games that hold your hand. It gives you a little bit of that, but it also gives you a lot of the old school feel.
And
you
it
don't,
does-
you can hold all your weapons at once and all that good
There are
stuff.
two modes of play. It's stealth or it's crazy balls to the wall, and you really can choose.
Mm-hmm.
But they're both so damn tight.
The stealth works really good.
And it's long. I played it like 15 hours, which
Mhm.
for a shooter campaign, I mean, Call of Duty,
Yep.
I beat in what, 6 hours?
Did you play it on normal?
Yeah,
Okay.
on normal, both on normal.
I started it on hard after I beat it, and it's a lot more fun. They basically just throw twice as many Nazis at you.
But if you put it on easy, which I did at one point, just because fuck it,
Mm-hmm.
it's also fun for different reasons because every shot makes a limb fall off, and there's something really fun because you get the same amount of enemies, and then it's just like, and you feel like you're in RoboCop.
Really gory game.
Yeah.
Which is
Gears of
good.
War.
But funny gore,
Yeah.
even though the plot is
Funny
good
gore.
and well written. It is the only game I can say you go to a concentration camp and you can blow it up with a mech, which
Yep.
is
It's a fun
so
one.
badass.
And you can play through the first level of the original Wolfenstein 3D in
That's
it.
an Easter egg. You can't tell them that.
Oh, shush. I mean, Doom.
I mean, you get to play.
Yeah, there we
you
go.
get to play the Foundry in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3,
That was cool.
Yes.
but you can only play as Steve Caballero.
It was a little weird when you turned into a baby running from monsters, but like,
That
other
was
than
true. Yeah. Yeah, what was that Among the Sleep level? Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my
And then
god.
Phil Fish shows up. He's a main character.
Yeah, and then there's a Japanese guy, and he looks at the Japanese guy and goes, your games suck. And then Jonathan Blow comes in, he's like, well, what Phil meant was, and he saves the game. So
Oh.
that's good.
And that's why Wolfenstein is Game of the Year.
So that's your game of the year. Any flaws with it you can think of?
No.
None? Would you say 10 out of 10 perfect game?
11
There's
out of
no
10 IGN.
multiplayer if you really want multiplayer in the shooter. There are a
I
couple.
wouldn't count off for that. Though.
There are a couple sections that aren't the best. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to call it perfect. There was like one or two boss fights I didn't like.
I think we can all agree that this year has
Sucked.
been rough. Like, there's really... I can't think of any game that I would say is, like, perfect. Like, hands
Wolfenstein.
down, everyone should agree Game of the Year. Like, last year,
Destiny.
everyone should pretty much agree either Grand Theft Auto 5 or The Last of Us was Game of the Year last year.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone pretty much agrees. You know, Max might not.
Hearthstone was Game of the Year this year.
But this year's like there really wasn't that good, that much of a...
I think this was the year of letdown.
Yeah.
This was a year where your game came out broken, or it just kind of sucked.
Unless you're like, if you're like exclusively into Nintendo, then you had a really good year because you got Mario Kart,
Fuck
and
you,
you got
Nintendo
fucking Smash
fans.
Brothers, and like, if you're really into Nintendo stuff, then you're good. You're good. You're done.
I hate you all.
Yeah.
Nintendo stuff.
I want that Bayonetta.
Mario Kart 8 is perfection. Smash Brothers is fun, but I'm bad at it, so I don't know if it's good or not.
Everyone says it's up there.
Would you say it's your game of the year?
Maybe.
If you had to
Dota
pick.
2.
Dota 2. No, Mario Kart 8 was the game I think I had the most fun with.
Yeah.
Whatever. I had the most fun with Mario Kart 8. It's addicting. Like the controls feel good. You don't get punished for being in first place like in Mario Kart Wii.
Let me ask you something
Yeah.
about Mario Kart 8. I'm a little confused.
Sure.
The coin power up.
Yes.
Is that just a coin? Is that all it does?
Well, I think
Because I'm like, oh fuck, I got the coin when I get it. Like, it,
well,
it doesn't
you can
seem
collect
to...
up to 10 coins, right? Like in a regular race. I think if you get 10, you get kind of a speed boost. Like you go a little faster, so you can keep your first place.
So
And I think you get better items with it as well. But
so
also,
you have to get the coin 10 times.
I mean, like these are just coins. What do you mean the coin?
Well, like, you know, you get little power ups when you're driving.
Right.
One of them you hold like a coin.
Oh,
And then- and then
that
you
just
press...
gives you a coin.
See, isn't that like a shitty power up though? Because you're racing.
I think when you're in first place, and if you get the coin, then it gives you better power ups. So
Yeah.
that's just pretty random.
Okay.
Um,
I just found that weird. I found that power up weird, and I wasn't sure if maybe
is
it was
weird.
giving me a small boost that I couldn't really see, or if like maybe it was doing something else for me that I just didn't know. But like it just seemed like you have a missile, you have a turtle, you have a banana peel. Oh, I got a coin. Fuck.
I mean, it's like without saying that the person in first place in Mario Kart's going to get the worst items because you're in first place. You shouldn't get the best items.
Right, I agree.
But I think if you get 10 coins, you're more likely to get the horn item, which is I think the only item that can ward off a blue shell, which is insane to me that you can ward off a blue shell now, which is cool. Because before it was like if someone just presses the blue shell button, then you die, and then you're in
That's like the
fifth
one
place.
complaint everyone has about old Mario Kart games is the blue shell thing.
Mario Kart Wii was a train wreck. The
Yeah.
only way to win that game was to stay in third place the whole match and then pull ahead at the end.
Yeah,
That was the only
do
way to
your
win.
damnedest at the end there.
That was it.
last lap.
Yeah, which is like a stupid strategy. Like they don't reward you for being a good, like a really efficient like corner turner, and like there's no reward for it. And
See, that's where I think Sonic Racing ekes out, in my opinion, over Mario Kart because they
for sure.
focus more on the people that are losing. They give the people that are losing the All-Star move.
Yep.
You know, like you're way more likely to get that if you're in last place, and you won't necessarily get to first place, but you'll get like in the top 5 or so.
Yeah.
You know, it'll put you back in the race. Whereas the person who's in the lead, as far as I know, doesn't really. There's really nothing different that happens other than you're that much less likely to get the All-Star move.
Is there a like drifting mechanic in that game? I need to play
Oh,
a
yeah.
little more. Good.
Oh yeah.
That's what I love about
I actually
Mario
feel like
Kart
the
8.
drifting in it is tighter than any Mario Kart game.
That's good.
Other people might disagree with me, and I really haven't played Mario Kart that extensively. But from what I have played, especially with 8, it feels floaty, and it just feels like it's just weird to me. And it's just like you start drifting, and then like the corners really not loose, but wide. And then as you drift more, you start like it gets way tighter. Like the corner gets way sharper. Does that make sense?
Kinda. I think they set them up like that on purpose for you to like.
Maybe yeah, because like it really
Drifting is about
discourages you.
pre-planning. There's a lot of pre-planning that goes into drifting, like last-minute pre-planning when you're playing the game. You have to look at a turn and be like, when do I start drifting? How wide do I go?
Also,
Et cetera,
the different
et cetera.
vehicles
It's
don't
kinda
really
cool.
seem to have other they do handle differently, but you don't know how you don't see stats. Like it doesn't
You
tell
can,
me.
and
Can you?
but this is, and here's the thing: it's like it's hidden, and I don't like this. But you have to press the plus button on the controller for them to show up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I didn't know that either until someone told me. That
Okay.
it should be more obvious. There should
Yeah,
be,
I mean it should just be right there.
right. Why would
but-
anyone want to toggle it off?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, there's some stats. I did a little bit of research because I wanted to be better online, right? And so there are weight classes as far as the characters you pick. There's weight
Okay.
classes, and they like determine stuff. I didn't know that.
Just with the characters.
yeah, and
Okay.
it's completely not said in the game. It doesn't mention it, but it's true.
Well, that's
So,
good
like,
then. That makes it a little deeper.
So there's like
I like
there's
that.
lightweights and there's like medium weights, there's heavyweights and super heavyweights. Super heavyweights are like Bowser and Morton and I can't remember who else, maybe Wario, and then like
Can you alter the stats in any way, like with different abilities? Because in the Sonic Racing game, you can get different mods for vehicles.
right? This is
That like if one vehicle's all about speed and has shitty handling, you can put a handling mod on it and it might even it out a little bit more.
well, kind of like you have. So say you pick Bowser, right? Because you want to be a heavyweight, which I usually do. Then you pick a car that has like good speed, but the handling's shitty. So you pick tires that gives it better handling.
Oh, okay. So
And,
yeah, sort of you can then.
Yeah, so you
Good.
can customize the body, the tires, and the glider, and the character you pick.
Because I think with a game like that, nostalgia is obviously a big element, and you want to play the character that you like a lot. Like I always want to play Gilius from Golden Axe.
Yep.
On Sonic Racing, but my driving style isn't really his vehicle style.
Sonic Racing is cool.
So I'll put mods on it and make it more my style.
You can be Team Fortress 2 in Sonic Racing.
On the PC version, yeah.
Yeah.
Every console got an exclusive character.
I didn't know that. Who?
Yeah.
What did the other ones get? Do you know?
Sony got... I don't even remember. It's been a while since I played it,
Danica
actually.
Patrick.
That was on all of them, I think.
I know. I just that's all I know about.
Yeah,
that game.
that needed to not be there.
That is all I know
you can
about
be
that
you
game.
can be Papa John in the Xbox version. You can be a bottle of Mountain Dew.
You can be Master Chef on Xbox.
Master Chef.
I don't know what they did on the Sony one. I forget. Was Wreck-It Ralph on all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he didn't really seem like he belonged in. He
No,
belonged more than
absolutely.
Danica Patrick.
He's a
fucking
Sega
did.
character.
What was the PC exclusive? Was it Team Fortress 2?
Yeah, it was the Team Fortress 2 one.
It's also so like the way that it works, by the way, is that when you change different vehicles, like when you're in the air, you're the spy. When you're on the ground, you're a pyro. I think when you're in the water, you're like someone else. It's cool.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Uh-huh.
I must say though, All Stars Racing Transformed is a little prettier than Mario Kart 8. It looks really nice.
It really does, man. It looks
does.
good. The Wii U version looks really good. Even the one on the PS Vita, I think, looks really good.
Yep.
Like the Vita version is outstanding, and it runs really well.
Yes.
Vita's incredible. I'm sorry,
Vita's cool.
I love my Vita. My game of the year, though, since we were talking about that at one point.
Oh.
Oh.
Here I am.
Almost said Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Real close saying Wolfenstein.
You bastard.
Love
you
that
switched
game.
it because of me.
Team
I see how it is.
No, the Evil Within. I'd say the Evil Within. That I had a blast.
I know
playing that
people
game.
who hate that game, so you got to defend that. Because
Okay.
I have heard.
Well,
that it
You
was
also
not
know
as-
people who hate Earthbound.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't matter.
There's a.
Convenience.
I don't know what the complaints are that you heard, but the complaint that I can think of that a lot of people probably had was that the story was disjointed.
I heard the biggest complaint
And-
was that it didn't have a sense of humor about itself, and so it just kind of played itself.
Well, I
over
feel like
the
it did a
top.
little bit actually, but it's a dark Japanese sense of humor, and it's not as apparent and on the surface as it would be if it were like something
Like
that
Resident
came
Evil.
out in America.
But the question is, what has Elaine been playing?
Yeah.
It is.
Nothing that came out this
What was
year.
your game of the year?
Doesn't
Played
matter.
The Last of Us remastered, even though it's technically a
Yeah.
2013 game.
That
I haven't
was
been playing
last
new games.
year.
I beat Half-Life 2 the other day. It's not new.
I tend to play older games. I don't know. Like
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only thing that
What did you have most fun playing this year?
this year.
fair. Yeah. Didn't have to come out this year.
Oh,
Just
if I can
this
go
year
by
we
that
went-
standard, Dark Souls 1 wins by default. Because that is easily the best game I played.
Well, we're just giving that standard to her because she hasn't played a lot of games.
No, I'm
this year.
stealing
That's
it.
fair.
Okay.
No, old games are cool.
I'm stealing her.
I would probably say The Last of Us. I don't know. I hadn't, it took me. What it came out last year?
I've heard of
So-
that.
Well, the
game.
remaster came out this year, so
Yeah.
Is that the one with Juno?
yeah, Juno's in it,
Yeah,
Troy Berger?
and she gets pregnant.
The Michael Cera
What?
DLC. And they sing the song at the end of the game.
She gets pregnant
I
with a
still
clicker.
yet to see Juno.
It's not that good.
All I know is that she's pregnant.
It was more fun to watch when it came out because people talked like that back then, and now you're like, oh, just talk normal. Stop saying homie and
I thought
stuff.
abortion was the big thing about that movie. You should abort your kids.
That is the lesson.
The Last of Us.
Yeah. So, Max, your game of the year.
That was Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8.
Oh,
Mario Kart 8?
Mario Kart 8, Evil Within, Wolfenstein: The New Order,
Or Dark
which is
Souls.
another game that could have been just called Wolfenstein, and I'm glad they didn't.
Wait a
They
minute.
called it Wolfenstein:
they
The New
already
Order.
the last game they released was just called Wolfenstein.
Yeah, that was
They
a mistake.
physically couldn't do that again.
Can I
They
say A Link
could've,
Between
man. I
Worlds?
wouldn't be
Or is that
surprised.
too... When did A Link Between Worlds come out?
I don't know. I think it
I
was.
can't remember.
That was 20.
This or last year?
That might have been 13.
I think 13.
Because I was working at GameStop when that came out. I remember it
okay.
was a big fucking deal.
It's really
Still
good.
yet to play.
Yeah.
It's really
I gotta get around the games.
Yep.
I've been
And
playing.
another one that was close for me. I'm
Oh.
sorry, I didn't mean to go ahead.
No.
Alien Isolation gets an honorable mention with me. Alien Isolation is excellent.
Locker Hiding Simulator? It's
Yes. You know,
I haven't played it yet.
Amnesia, as far as I can tell, Amnesia is responsible for bringing back survival horror.
Yeah, I
like in
believe
a
that.
big way. There are so many games that took that. Okay, no weapons, no fucking health.
It was definitely the first game I'd ever played that had that mechanic in my life.
There are games out there that have that, but Amnesia took it and like made it feel like a AAA game, like modern.
There hadn't been a horror game for a long time when Amnesia came out.
It was like the
And
first
it's
horror
kinda
game.
recent.
There haven't been.
Like,
There
when I
would be
played it-
no Five Nights at Freddy's 7.
Yeah.
If not, because we're getting to that point.
And first-person horror also. Like, there's not a lot of first-person horror before Amnesia. I can't think of much.
Silent Hill 4 had bits.
Yeah, true.
PT, you could argue, just
Were the
rip
fear
off
game
Amnesia.
fear games? Were they first person?
They were shooters, though.
Oh, that's
And
true.
they were not
What was?
scary.
Fear
Fear.
games.
Oh, they had scary moments, but yeah, they were shooters.
Well,
They were
that,
definitely shooters.
that was my grief, I think, with those games was that it was just like you were a gun, you were a monster, a powerhouse that could kill anything. It doesn't matter. Jump scares, but
It had an
Whatever.
interesting story. I just never stuck around to.
Yep.
like there are certain like when I played Amnesia: The Dark Descent, I was like I'd never really been scared by a game before.
I had to
care.
stop on the water level.
I think it was
Oh, I
the
know.
first.
More than once, I had to stop.
It was the first horror game where you're actually
terrifying.
weak. Like you could say Silent Hill that you're weak, but you still have weapons.
Yeah,
Dude,
weapons.
Daniel is just
You
a
can
pussy.
and you can
can't
drink a health
fight.
drink too.
You
know.
have nothing in Amnesia. You're just
Right.
fucked.
and you hide.
And
And
it-
that
yeah.
there's an older game, Clock Tower, where you do that,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
one of my
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
games of all time. And
Clock
any
Clock Tower
excuse,
3 is
any
the
excuse
best.
to bring it up, I'll bring it up, and that's one.
That's right. We talked
you
about Clock
hide.
Tower before.
Yeah,
Yep.
Scissor Man.
And you can't hide. And yeah,
Well, you can hide. That's actually.
I mean, I didn't mean that. You can't fight. you have to hide.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love the have to hide, can't fight. And doing that in first person makes so much sense.
I was always confused by the name though, because it doesn't take place at a clock tower, or at least the one I played.
Well, at the end, you go to the mansion where the Scissor Man was born, and that
Oh.
mansion has a big clock tower.
Is that the same mansion from 3?
I
It
don't
takes
know.
place in
I
a
didn't get very
mansion.
far in 3 because 3's kind of
The
weird.
best in the series. 'Cause
Oh,
it's the
you're out of
only
your
one I
mind.
played.
You're out of your mind, sir.
It's the only one I've played, so it's the best in the series.
Oh my god. So
But,
Elaine
yeah.
owns Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on
For
the
GameCube?
PlayStation,
Oh,
and I
Potter-
want to play it so
Harry
bad.
Potter and the fucking Wizard.
That game is amazing.
is it like Five Nights at Freddy's 3, which was announced?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it.
Is it? Was it announced?
Yeah.
What? When? Yesterday?
He hasn't officially announced, but he has a picture with the Fazbear just saying,
Oh,
"I'm
God.
not dead yet."
Oh.
He's working on it.
So 2,
No.
what I've seen some footage of 2, but is it better than the first one?
Yes. To be clear, I love those games.
Should I just skip the first one, get the second one?
They're both good. They're both worth playing.
If
and they're
you
cheap.
want this,
I'd say play both.
I'll say this. Holy shit, can you just wait like half a year to release
So,
it?
alright, so what
Get all
happened with
three
the
of them in a
second
humble
one?
bundle, maybe?
To fill you in, so the first one was made and it was like a huge success. It's like weirdly simple. So the main screen of the game is a stretched JPEG. Like, why would anyone like it, right?
Right.
But the mechanics are awesome. So it got super popular, and then they were like, all right, scheduled
Got
for
a spooky
2015,
lore.
we're gonna release Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and everyone's hyped. And then he just randomly released it in it was like November or October or something. Like out of nowhere, he's just like, hey, here you go. Everyone was like, whoa, really? What?
I mean, I
remember
like the
seeing it-
spirit of that.
It's
But-
kind of cool.
But
It
he's
would make-
making 3 now.
No, but it's
Yeah.
solid. It's not. There's no bugs that I know of.
I will grant
fine.
you that. It is better than
Such
a
a-
Ubisoft product.
And it is better than the first one. I'll say that. I
Okay.
like Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's
2
more
more.
complicated, it seems.
It's just
Like
It's
there's
cool.
more. There's just more. I mean, the same thing, but there's more of it.
I just want
Right.
to have time to take it in and acknowledge it exists until we get a sequel. Give me if I went to a theater and I saw a movie, I'm not, and the second one came out like a month later. I want time to at least say I really like that.
I almost want to say that the dev is self-aware that those games are so just creepy that it's once you beat it or get a really good score, you're like, I'm never playing that game again. So he's like, I gotta make a new one and keep these people in. So that's fair,
Yeah.
but they're good. So
I really like the lore videos, or what are they called? The game theory.
the game theory video was good on it.
He did 2. He did 1 for 2,
Oh, I forgot about that.
and they're honestly better than the game for me. I'm just gonna watch them.
Those games are weirdly story rich, and I remember there was a day where I was obsessed with the story and googling stuff about it and coming up with my own theories.
Funny thing, I just
interesting.
moved, and the first night I'm staying by myself because the family's not in yet.
Yeah.
And I decided to watch that at night when there are noises I don't know what they are.
Good idea.
And the door
Good
is
idea.
locked, and I'm like, oh,
That is always a weird thing when you move
I
to a new
shouldn't have
place
done that.
and you're not used to the noises of that house yet.
Right.
Yeah,
So weird.
Great time to watch something horror related.
It's like the guy I'm leasing this from didn't tell me about the freaking thumping noise from the furnace, asshole. You're just sleeping here.
I can hear my neighbors.
Call him and say,
talking.
"Why didn't you tell him about the thumping noise?" And he's like, "What thumping noise?"
Yeah, that's the
That's
best.
when you know you're in a good house.
I
That's
have
why
the
you don't
most
ask.
hollow walls.
Mm-hmm.
I literally heard my neighbors fuck.
That's good.
Ooh.
That's good.
I could hear the moan, and I'll tell you right now.
This
it's
is what
not
we
a
need
good-
on the
Who
video
needs-
game
who needs
podcast
TV?
of the year. This
Talk
is the
about
best.
new houses.
This is the best video game podcast on Podbean.
So this year for 2015, I've decided I want to regain my virginity. So I'm playing the worst possible things.
Okay.
I played Hearthstone for a week straight, and I love it.
Dude, it's cool. We'll play.
Great.
I'll add you on there.
It's
I don't
great.
have any friends on Blizzard or on Battle.net.
And then I got a trial, but I think I might get the full thing because I'm gonna sell a game. Final Fantasy 14, man, that MMO.
Yep.
Put it on a console. It is my
Pretty game.
crack.
Pretty game.
Well, the thing is, what caught me by surprise, there actually is a story in that game.
Yep.
That sells me because that convinces me to stick with it. Is it the best story? No. But when if you're gonna call me a warrior of light, I'm gonna stick around.
I have a
Just
question for all of
nostalgia.
us. I don't know. We probably answered this, but what is the game in your life that you've put the most hours in for sure?
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the question.
Are we talking
Metal
about like?
Gear Solid because I've replayed that series more times than I can count.
Are we counting multiplayer modes?
Sure.
Because we're counting multiplayer modes, I'd probably say just sheer amount of time.
Yep.
Would probably be Zombies mode in Call of Duty Black Ops.
Oh wow.
Because the original Black Ops had really good zombie maps, and you could get all the zombie maps from the previous game, World at War, and those were really good. In one map pack, you had all those. So I had all the fucking zombie maps made up until that time, and I was working at Best Buy full time, and I would come home and decompress from that shitty job. Love Best Buy, you're great, and and I would play zombies for 3-4 hours every night.
Wow.
For like a year, and I just like drilled it.
That's
and
crazy.
I still have friends on PSN that I made, because once you play with 3 other people in zombies and you stay together for like 3 hours and you get to like level 25 or 30 or whatever, when it just gets ridiculous, you're friends with those people by the time that's over. By the time you all die, you're friends.
I've done that with Left 4 Dead before.
And I'm talking 3-4 years ago. So I mean, I still have friends on PSN from that. That's probably just sheer amount of time.
That is not the answer I expected from you.
Yeah.
Actually, I might say Left 4 Dead.
But I believe it.
I have played so much damn Left 4 Dead when that was new. That might be the one I put the most hours into. But if you're talking replays of the campaign, the Metal Gear series by far.
I would probably say the same thing for talking about
Because
campaign.
I do it every year. It's a tradition for me. Every year I get a craving.
All of them?
All of them.
Yeah.
Every single Metal Gear game. Well, the canon ones, obviously.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear 2, and then Solid 1 through 4.
I have a pretty weird answer for this one. I didn't really think about it until I asked the question. But so like I used to play this arcade game called Pump It Up competitively when I was in high school.
Pump It Up.
Pump It Up is basically Dance Dance Revolution.
I remember that.
But
Pump
it
It Up
has-
Extreme on the PS2 shit.
It is good. I have that one. I still own it. But anyway, Pump It Up is 5-panel instead of 4-panel. So there's the diagonal arrows and then the center one. If you've ever seen that like in an arcade.
That's weird.
I fell in love with it, right? And my friend Johnny in high school was better than me at it, and he was a high schooler, right? He like got his parents like loaned him money, and he spent $3,000 buying the machine from the arcade in Huntington Mall. Yeah,
Can't believe it cost $3,000.
Yeah, that's cheap too.
Probably because they didn't want to sell it
That's
at
a pretty
first.
good deal.
Cheap. And so it was just in his garage.
Good investment.
$3,000.
So it was just that is cheap. So it was in his garage forever, right? So, and he lived near my grandmother, so I would get off at her bus stop and go to his house and play that game until the sun went down, like every day for like 3 years.
Wow.
And eventually we went to nationals and I placed 8th, and then the community just kind of died out. But yeah, so I played that game more than anything.
The Pump It Up community.
Pump It Up.
The Pump It Up community.
So like out of all the video games I've played, some arcade game is the one I've played the most.
What if the Pump It Up, or if like the Dance Dance Revolution people and the Pump It Up people hate each other?
I don't know.
Is it
Is there
weird?
a
that
rivalry?
I'm pretty
we're
good at
not
both.
Or do they all
surprised
just
by
wanna
this
dance?
at all?
I played a lot of both.
Like I would imagine that would be the game. I don't know why.
What?
Pump It Up.
Yeah.
What about
Like of all the games, I don't
Yeah.
know. It seems appropriate.
It's really solid. Like the game, it's the arcade cabinet. It's just everything about it's really good. The pad feels good. The songs are like way better than DDR, man. Like it's harder than DDR2. DDR is kind of they focus on. They give you this easy arrow pattern, right? It's the heavy modes aren't that bad, right? But the arrow grades are harder to get. Like getting a perfect in DDR is harder than getting a perfect in Pump It Up. But the hardest mode in Pump It Up has more arrows in it, for instance. And they have Nightmare mode, which is like where you use 2 pads as one person. That's called Nightmare mode. And that's kind of, once you get into the finals or whatever and Pump It Up, if you go to a national tournament, that's what you're doing. You're playing
That's
Nightmare
crazy.
mode. And it's freaking hard. And Johnny, the guy that had bought the arcade machine, he was second in the United States that year.
Wow.
Yeah, dude is crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and this is the weird thing about that game. So you know how like every arcade game, it's always like Japanese people are the best at it, right?
Mhm.
Right.
This game, Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexicans were amazing at the game.
Represent.
Hispanic people mostly. Like I think the guy who won was from
Japan.
Brazil. I want to say.
Oh, thank God.
That
As
dude
long as the Japanese
Kind of makes
don't
sense.
win.
I can see that.
is very very good at the game.
I can see Brazilian like just destroying that game.
And what was funny, right, was that the footage. So, like, if you were like into that game, you want to see footage of the best people in the world playing it. You want to see what it looks like. Like, what does it look like? The world champion playing this game. So it turns out, I guess the people in those countries had like really shitty cameras or phone cameras, or did it on purpose or something. So all the footage was terrible. So it's just
Like flip phones.
yeah. So you're
like
like
2005.
obsessed. It was like a Nokia flip phone footage. So
Oh,
you were
God.
like obsessed with this game, like on YouTube, like looking at this footage. I was like this. You're just looking at the shitty footage.
They
Like, how
don't
you-
want you to know their technique.
That's. I almost want to say that's what it was. And
Maybe.
they bring the camera real close to the screen, show the score. I'm like, wow, he just did that. Okay.
What about you, Elaine?
Yeah.
Most hours.
Yeah, just sheer amount of time.
All video games.
Sorcerer's Stone. I knew it. I knew it. I knew
It's
it.
obviously Haunted House for Atari.
No, I think it would either be Final Fantasy X,
Mm.
Kingdom Hearts games, or probably World of Warcraft, because I played that
Oh,
for a
Oh, I
good
played some
year.
WoW. I played some WoW.
MMOs will get you.
I played
As
some
I've
WoW.
learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I've learned. Once I get a
Dude.
poop sock, that's the moment.
No, for real though, WoW's fun. That's why
Yeah.
it's a good game. It's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
14's better than.
I played it for 4 months, which
think
is
it's better
like
than 10?
nothing compared to most people who play it, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're
Yeah.
different games.
But those 4
Yeah.
months, it was like my life. That's what I did. I would like go to school or whatever and come back and play WoW.
Yeah. That's...
I did the 14-day trial of WoW, and I was like, this is really good. I can totally see the appeal here. But after that ring, I was like, I'm not paying for it.
I think what got me with 14, for one, there hasn't been a good Final Fantasy in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 15 hopefully is the one to change that up. But
I
would
15's
argue-
looking good.
I would argue that 14 is a better Final Fantasy game than 13 and 12.
Mhm.
I really like it, and it is filled with nostalgia. That
Mhm.
game wants you to feel like a fan service. You know, everywhere. There's crystals everywhere. There's music cues that you
Well,
recognize.
didn't they release it once and it sucked?
It
and then
was-
they did Realm Reborn.
It was so bad that a month afterward they apologized and said we're making an entirely different game to
Right.
replace it. We're
So that's
sorry.
like- so I imagine they went fan servicey. Like
They want
that's part of the reason why that was so
their
much in there.
apology was 3 years later they made the best MMO of all time.
Mind I say though, guess how long this episode is right now?
How much? 28, 55,
An hour.
45?
42.
Oh, wow. You know, the past couple episodes we've been 40. We've always been hitting 40.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I don't
That's
see
okay.
what. Look,
okay with that.
time
Mega 64
constraints
goes
don't
up to an
have
hour.
happen. The co-optional podcast is 3 or 4 hours.
Giant Bomb episodes are really really long.
I don't
So
want to do that long.
whatever, just stick
I don't
around.
want to do that long. I'm going to take a nap if we start going that long.
I think
We're not going to go that
make
long. I'm just saying.
episodes-
That,
I like
Time
30.
limits
I
are
like
done.
32 an hour. Anywhere in there, I think is good. I like that.
okay.
But I,
fair.
you know,
Final Fantasy 14 is really good.
yes.
It is the best MMO I've played. It has every single flaw that I've always complained about MMOs. All of them are in there, so I can't like
That's
reasonably enjoy this without feeling guilty because there's a lot of fetch quests and
Love
there's a
games
lot
like
of kill
that.
10 enemies of this. But
That happens.
it has two things that make it so good for me. One, it's on a console. That goes a long way.
Yes, it does.
The hotbar doesn't even bother me when I'm using a controller. But the main thing is, my God, it is a Final Fantasy game. It feels like a Final Fantasy game. I have not had that feeling since 10.
Mm-hmm.
It is sad how long I've gone without that feeling.
11 was good. No,
It's-
most.
I didn't play it,
It was good.
so I can't judge it.
11?
Yeah, the MMO.
Is it a MMO?
You played it?
PS2, briefly.
Huh.
I had a friend who played it constantly, and I watched him play a
That's
lot.
still big. There's still a community around
Yeah,
it.
it's crazy.
They're dumb.
He actually plugged a computer or a keyboard into the PS2.
You can
And
do
that's
that
how
on
he
the
would-
PS4 version.
Yeah, well, good, because that makes a lot of sense.
But honestly, like, the way it's set up, you don't need it, except for typing. But, like,
Mhm. Typing, yeah,
because
that's
the
fine.
thing is, the pad on the controller up there, you can use it as a mouse. So you can click on it, whatever you need, and then the setup they have is brilliant. Like, how that hotbar works. Because what it is, you got 8 on both sides,
Mhm.
and it would be, so if you're looking, you know, here's everything,
Right.
and you would hold the L2 or R2, and then 8 will pop up, and then D-pad for the first 4, and then
That's okay.
face buttons for the right. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm sure once I get into raids, it's gonna go down to shit. But right now,
oh god! See,
the dog has
this is
ruined
why
the
you're a
show.
ding
The
dong.
dog doesn't understand the audio equipment.
This is why you're going back to the shelter, buddy.
You're not
I've had him
capable
for
of
4.5 years, but
MMOs,
now I'm tired of
dog.
him.
You're going back to
I
the
bet you
crack
don't
house,
even know what a
Freddy.
poop sock is.
He doesn't even know.
Go find you a nice Argentinian family.
You should teach that dog.
Yeah,
the
we'll
poop
teach how to
sock.
play Pump It Up.
That's when you know you're a cool person. It's the poop sock.
Eh,
Yeah, obviously.
it's a certain level.
That's when
Only
you're really
fellow
into
poop
your
sock
game.
people understand.
That's like, World of Warcraft level stuff.
This is World of Warcraft, basically.
This world is Warcraft.
The way I see it, I mean, we all have goals. You have goals in World of Warcraft.
Might I say, the second most hours played for me, this is weird saying this because I haven't played it in forever, Minecraft.
Yep.
When that came out in high school, I played that so much, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. I've played like hundreds of my own survival modes. I'd get people in my servers and we'd play for like all day until like 5 a.m. and I got a lot of time out of that game. Oh my god!
You know,
Yeah.
I think I know the real reason why I
great.
got into 14. It's because I was supposed to be into Destiny. That was the game that I
was ready for that,
waiting
too.
for.
I was ready
It
to
was
just
supposed-
devote my life to it. I was
and,
too.
And since it cock-blocked me, I had to find something.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
That might be my biggest disappointment of all year. 2014 was Destiny.
okay, it's the obvious one, but second place is more interesting because
What?
then you could argue. Well, you got Assassin's Creed, which was broken. You got Tetris, which was broken.
I can't believe that. That was crazy.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna give shit to Ubisoft. Watch Dogs sucked. Watch Dogs was a bad game.
Yeah, you want to watch a dog?
This is way better than Watch
There,
Dogs.
watch a dog. That's better than the game.
1080p.
There it is.
Infinite frames per second.
Yeah, this is good.
Way better than Watch Dogs had. Story is better of that dog. It's a better game.
You want to watch a dog?
It's better
I
designed.
got a dog for you.
Look how well that dog
Want to
is
listen to a
designed.
dog?
Look at this dog.
Look at
This
this.
is way better than Watch Dogs will ever be.
Would you rather hack the mainframe
Mwah,
or
you
pet
can
this?
kiss the dog.
You can.
That's
What?
how
Oh,
you
God.
know.
Why hack the mainframe?
Dog
when
of the
you have
year, game of the year, Watch Dogs.
Dog of the year.
this? Dog of the year. Dog of the year.
So this is the Dog of the Year episode.
Dog of the year.
Thanks for
episode.
watching.
Every
Thanks
good
for the
game
rules.
got delayed till next year.
Best
Or this
three.
year.
This year, yeah.
Yay!
Bloodborne, I'm looking forward to.
Witcher, Metal Gear.
Uncharted 4,
Why you're not counting the games I just gave you?
Metal Gear. I was getting to it.
Oh,
Pac-Man 8 should
What?
be coming. I don't know.
they made 7. When did this happen?
I assume there's been at least that many
The
iterations.
Final Fantasy 7 re-release that everyone's mad about. What's coming out? That's really good.
I don't know.
Splunky 2.
I was like literally about to say I've been playing Spelunky. That game is amazing.
it's so good.
It is good.
I
I
love that
played the old
game.
one and like it was okay. I bought the new one on Steam. Holy shit.
It's a vast
Holy shit.
improvement. The old
Oh my
one's not
God.
bad because it's
No.
free,
Yeah.
and it was the start of it. But like it's so much better. I can't go back.
The soundtrack to the jungle is like the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
The music in that game is really good.
Zeus. Lay down, bub. Lay down.
Dorg.
Down.
Dork.
Look
Lay
at the
down,
dog.
buddy. Come on.
Look at the dog. Look at the dog.
The
Look at the dog.
doggy.
Look at the dog.
I
No.
hope Final Fantasy 15 comes out this year. It won't.
No.
It won't.
Mm-mm.
But I want it to. Persona.
Maybe late, maybe.
Persona comes out this year.
Which one?
Persona 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah. Why are you not hyped for Persona?
I gotta finish 4.
What?
I have like 15 hours in 4, and it's like still starting.
No, Persona
annoying.
3.
It's
Persona
annoyingly
4
long.
takes like 2 hours to start. That game has started. If you don't like it where it is, then it never starts for you.
It's not like I dislike it. I don't know. It's just
Persona 3 is a
Ugh.
game that you wait 80 hours for it to start. Persona 4, I would argue, starts after like the 5-hour mark. And then you're good. If you're in the first dungeon, that game has started.
it started. I was just man.
You're just whining.
I am basically.
It is the most anime RPG you'll ever play.
Yeah.
It's so good, I don't care.
It's a good one.
Persona 5's got my heart. Not as much as Final Fantasy, but that's going to either disappoint me or never come out.
The what do you say you're looking forward to most this coming year?
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear 5?
Well,
I would agree.
here's the thing. There you go.
Good point.
Yeah, it's
Witcher.
I disagree,
has,
though.
I'm really excited for Witcher. Don't get me wrong, but that is a game I'm going to lose myself to when it
Get
comes
out.
to pure
Okay. Come on.
excitement and cannot wait Final Fantasy's probably not coming out.
Hey,
this
is
year.
Witcher 2 good? Because it's always really cheap. On
Witcher
Steam.
2 is one of the greatest RPGs you'll ever play.
Really?
I love that game.
Man, it's like $5 on Steam all the time.
Get
so
it!
I'll just buy it. Yeah.
It's so good.
Screw it. I've never heard of Witcher until like recently.
Witcher's fantastic. I love
People
those
who like
games
Witcher
so much.
really fucking like Witcher.
I read the books.
That's all I know. Yeah.
They're really good.
Cool.
My fiance is obsessed with Witcher.
Max, what about you? Most anticipated 2015 release right now.
Oh man, that's really tricky.
Diamond Dogs.
Oh my god, I don't even know. I can't
Metal Gear is your
Metal
answer.
Gear 5 is the correct answer.
Yeah.
I never got into the Metal Gear games. I never had any.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Have
Yeah.
you still never played them?
No.
Okay, well, we
How
gotta
do I get them? What do I play them on?
Here's what we're gonna do. One day, you're gonna spend the
PlayStation,
day
probably.
with me and you,
Yeah.
and we are going to force you.
Yeah, I need some video game history lessons for sure.
No, you need to play them. They're so good.
That's what I
Metal
need.
Gear Solid. I can't see how you don't fall in love with the first one.
Because I've never
It is
played it. That's
a
how.
perfect game.
Once you start it, you're gonna like immediately.
You have to finish
immediately, like 2 seconds after it begins, you're into it. You're in. It's.
But once
put
it goes to
together
the
so
crazy
well.
stuff, you will love it.
I've
I don't
looked
know
at
anyone that doesn't.
The Ground Zeroes, and it looks really neat. And I'm like, I want to get into this series.
Ground Zeroes is a better game, but you still need to play one.
Oh right, I
Like
understand. Yeah.
like Metal Gear 1 and 2, you can argue whether or not you should play, but Metal
Right.
Gear Solid, you absolutely do.
Yep.
And then 2's great, 3's the best.
Okay.
But you gotta play them in order.
I would argue the first is best, but they're all so good. They're all so good.
3's the best, but 1 is the most classic.
I own a
One is-
PlayStation
oh.
2. Are there any good ones for PlayStation 2?
Metal
and
Gear
3.
Solid 3 is the best, and 2
and
is
3.
on that.
2 and
Yeah.
3? Are they cheap?
Yes.
Thank God.
They're pretty common,
I
so
will
I would
love
imagine.
you.
That's
I would
good.
imagine they're relatively cheap.
Look,
Games like that are usually like $10 or $200.
I
on
have
Amazon.
the
Yeah,
collection for PS2 and a PS1 copy. I can just let you borrow it.
There
That'd
you
be
go.
awesome. I'll
There
play
you
them. I'll play them.
So there
4
you
is excellent as well, although some people hate on 4, and they have legitimate complaints because the bosses are kind of.
It is my least favorite, but I still love it. Like, so I think it's just a little weird in places that I don't like. But the story's great, so I don't mind.
That's good.
You know,
It goes a little off the rails sometimes.
I kind of feel like
Like a crazy
Gamergate.
train.
It's creepy when the Japanese make all their women really, really sexual for
Yeah,
no reason.
For no reason.
Like, oh, she lost her mind. Her parents got murdered. Let's see her vagina slit. It's just, it's just a little
Is that an
much for
example?
me.
Damn
Did that
near.
happen?
Damn near.
That's how, like, you're talking skin tight, but
There's
like,
there's
what
some
game is
there's
this?
some moose knuckle going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
it creeps me
Video
out a
games.
bit. And then Peace Walker has a
But
lot
then
of
there's
that.
Watch Dogs.
That's the one actually I haven't played. I haven't finished Peace Walker.
Peace Walker's
I'm
the
like
hardest
I started.
to finish.
I'm like 20 minutes in. Like
You
I'm
know
like,
what the worst thing is? Even if you beat it, you haven't. You got 100% it to get the real ending.
Well, I need to play it anyway because I know
You
5
do.
is a sequel.
You do.
5 is a sequel to Peace Walker.
Peace
so-
Walker is. I don't count it as much because it doesn't grab me at all. It feels like the setup for the next one. It's the portable Metal Gear game, and as that, it's really damn good. But if you look at it as the same level as the others,
There was another portable Metal Gear game that was really decent called
but it's no
Portable
longer
Ops, and it's okay.
It's not canon anymore.
It's not really, but it's it's
Kojima
was,
didn't work on it. I don't give a shit.
it was okay, but yeah, definitely not canon. What's up?
Not canon.
Watch Dogs.
That dog is canon. Diamond Dog.
Watch Dog.
Diamond
He's
Dog.
my diamond dog.
Watch Dog.
Diamond Dog.
That's a command. Watch Dog.
Watchdog.
Dog.
So Elaine, what about you? Most anticipated 2014.
Metal Gear is the
Literally.
correct answer.
Metal Gear 5 is the correct answer. What's your
I've
answer?
never played the Metal Gear Solid
What?
games
What? You've never played it? I haven't either.
Okay, you two need to be sat in a room. We will educate you.
You need
I'm
educated.
not weird.
I feel like those games are like those are bigger than video games to me.
They are.
Like those are
are.
massive.
They're
You have to.
They're like better than basically any movie. I can't think of any movies that I like more than the Metal Gear games. Like it's the best thing ever made on any medium, as far as I can tell.
Metal
the
Gear
best art.
2 is weird as hell, and it is art for it. Metal Gear 1 is the perfect action movie, and it is so strange in the best ways. And
There's
3
like-
is fucking flawless.
There's so much cool, realistic, grounded stuff going on, and then there's like just a little bit of supernatural stuff.
You know,
and then they explain it, and then there's a little bit more, and they don't quite explain it, and it's the perfect. It's perfect.
Metal Gear is Tom Clancy mixed with the Marvel Universe.
and mixed and thrown just a dash of Japanese weirdness.
It's so fucking good. Okay,
Zeus
next
agrees.
we're canceling next episode. Next time, let's play Metal Gear.
I'm down.
Dude, next episode's Dogisode. We'll play the next one after that. We'll
Like,
play
I'm
that
not
after.
joking. We all have to play Metal
We
Gear.
just
We will
filmed Zeus for
film
half an
hour. This is
reactions.
Dogisode. Can we
but
call
we're
this
doing
Dogisode?
it.
I like Dogisode.
This is the Dogisode.
She will be a guest next time because we have to force Metal Gear on
That's,
her.
Right.
that is
We
true.
have to.
Okay.
Oh my god! I
Like,
can't
she's never
believe
played
you
as
have-
Well,
Crazy.
I'm looking to integrate Elaine into this a little bit more if she would like to do
You're
that.
in the
'cause
Metal
we
Gear
need-
thing.
Your
There's
dog's
no
face when you
chance
do this.
here.
What?
He's like, I'm an old man.
He's going to look like that in a few years.
Okay,
probably.
I think it's time to wrap this up. We got plans for our next episode.
Yes, we do. Thanks for watching, and make sure
Like,
you
comment, and subscribe.
do all the YouTube stuff that you feel like doing, and make sure you go to mopcast.com if you want to check out other podcasts of people that we know that are not necessarily about video games, but they're about pop culture and just interesting stuff.
Don't forget to comment about how these two need to play Metal Gear. Because because I'm going to make them do it anyway, but I'd like to have people yell at them.
Remember to watch Dog.
Watchdog.
Diamond Dog.
We all have YouTube channels also that I'll put in the description. Elaine's is Blind Gamer Chick. I'm Bizarro777, and Max is...
I'm Bologna Colin.
Or Bologna Colin, that's the one we can plug.
Yeah.
And Eric has one that has one kind of funny video on it I watched.
Yeah, he does have one.
It gave me some
funny
chuckles. Give me
He's,
some chucks.
You don't need it.
Evil Monkey DTT.
Evil Monkey.
I don't think that's my,
Oh,
my
okay.
YouTube.
I was just guessing.
That's my other
That's your
thing.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Also.
That's your Steam.
That's my Twitter.
It's your Steam.
It's
Steam,
It's your
whatever.
twit.
I get it mixed up.
It's your tweet
I think
twat.
it's Evil Monkey G2 is my YouTube, but there's nothing there that's worth checking out. Unless you want to see like a pony video.
Depends on how much you like the ponies.
It's fucking, I love them.
But-
They're all pink. Metal Gear.
Metal Gear, come on,
Metal Gear.
bitches. Come on. Oh,
Dogisode.
invasion.
This is a true guest of the show.
Bowser.
Bowser's.
Bowser.
Bowels.
Metal Gear actually had Bowser in it, but then it turned out they ruined it.
He had a Bowels
Devil May Cry.
movement. They have Bowels movement.
That's
in
true,
Metal
but
Gear.
really the best part about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 was that they really started amping up the levels. They really started getting good.
They
The
could
levels.
revert the levels even by letting you revert. Which
Yeah.
completely ruined the game because now you could just do a combo forever.
Yeah, being ready to press R2
If you are
when
a
you land off that ramp.
speedrunner of Tony Hawk, you can beat that game in a century.